Hi everyone. I want to welcome you into our conversation for April. On April 11th, we're having a potluck around living in recovery. And whether you are in recovery from chemical dependency or other kinds of addictions, all of us are in recovery from something. And in fact, we need the world to be in recovery of sexism and racism and all the isms that have repressed us and internalized in us that create conflict and violence in our world. So no matter who you are, I want to hear from you about what you're in recovery from. So that's going to be part of the juicy conversation, but we're going to welcome a bunch of brothers who are in recovery, especially of drugs and alcohol, and how their recovery process has been a gift to them, the journey of being in the queer community. Part of what I know just way back, and it hasn't changed much to present time from when I was a therapist in the 80s to this present time, about 1 out of 4 every LGBTQ person was chemically dependent. And as I look at the stats as they kind of are being put out these days, is somewhere between 20 and 30% of us are addicted somehow. So, there are many components that go into that addiction, and there are many components that go into our wellness, our wholeness, and our recovery. And we're going to be exploring kind of the beauty of that, the journey of that as queer men and what that means to us. As flesh and spirit community, one of the things I know is that so many times drugs and alcohol have been coupled with our relationships, with sex, with intimacy, and it's really wonderful to see men who are in recovery being able to have places like Flesh and Spirit and other places where they can touch and recalibrate their bodies and experience pleasure without having to be dependent on drugs and alcohol to do that. So this is going to be a yummy conversation. We want to welcome all of you into it, whether you're in the Bay Area and you can join us for this potluck or not. We'd love to hear from you about how are you in recovery and how has recovery been a gift to you. Namaste.